appreciate it.
Yeah, how are you, Darek?
I'm okay. I was happy to know that like you were part of who you're part of as far as your reps are, and I was like, wow, this is awesome. Like I was like, you have some really cool people behind your corner, so that's awesome.
100%, yeah. I saw there was a connection with you and my publicist Morgan, and I was like, this is good. I'll forward this.
She's awesome. She's awesome. So first of all, let's just say I'm going to loop back to this, but like, congrats for like having the #1 show and being a big part of that. Like that's great, right?
Thank you. Yeah, it's wonderful. It's
Nothing wrong with that. So let's get into your time travel obsession for a little bit. Movies, not like your personal hobbies, but so you're a Back to the Future fan, correct?
I love Back to the Future. Yes, 100%.
Do you share the same affinity for like Interstellar?
I do actually. That's that's funny you mentioned that. I was actually in Interstellar as an extra as a kid.
No way.
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
Yeah. It was one of my. I was only an extra twice when I was a kid, and one of them was for Interstellar, and yeah, because it was shooting near my hometown in southern Alberta. So yeah, it was crazy.
Is there a part of the movie that hits you harder than others?
Oh, 100%. I think the classic scene of the video conversation where he's watching his daughter speak to him through. Oh my God, it's a hit to the gut every single time. Yeah.
What about the scene where he goes to see his daughter and she's like way older than he is, and they have that conversation at bedside? Mm-hmm. I mean, I just like I can't like I tell you, it's funny that like you love time travel movies because I think they're so beautiful, but they do mess with you a little bit because like in your own life, you're going to see as you get older, it's like, what happens if I did that different? What happens if you know what I'm saying? Like it's just it messes with you a little bit, Ezra.
Yeah, honestly, the butterfly effect is like, it's got a grip on us. Like it's just got that, the movie, but also the concept in general and the way that plays out in like life in general. I love finding my own little like moments in my history that I'm like, well, if that didn't happen, then XYZ. And yeah, it's a big thing in film, honestly, like every little audition where I'm like, oh, that led to that, led to that, led to that. And yeah, here we are.
How about your favorite scene in Back to the Future?
Favorite scene.
Such an unfair question. Ridiculous question, but I'll own it. But
I think I'm going to say two. I have the iconic one of Doc fixing the clock tower and then the lightning striking and that being the big moment. Like I cannot give enough props to that scene and my like film obsession then from a young age. I was like, Doc Brown, it has to be me. But then also I really, really love the scene of Michael J. Fox playing the guitar on stage, playing Johnny B. Good at the prom. I think is like, that is such a standout for me. My dad played the guitar and it's so perfect. Yeah. It hits home.
Speaking of dad's super supportive of your career, right?
Yes, he was a big pioneer in my my upbringing and my entire like obsession for the arts and film and acting. Yeah, both my parents were very supportive. Yeah.
Like if you add up like the amount of people, so let's just say I talked to 700 people, that's probably the case like 10% of the time, maybe 15.
Yes. Well, and I think that's such a privilege, but it's not uncommon. But like, thank God, like our parents are really our biggest supporters and like showcase for what is safe to pursue and how to trust yourself. And I think that's extremely important. I actually lost my dad a couple years ago, but I know that he would be like the #1 Untamed fan in the entire world.
I'm so sorry to hear that, but your dad would absolutely. Let me just say, from one dad karma to feeling another dad, he would have been off. He would have been beside himself watching what you did in this show. Yeah, 100% is right.
We would have dissected every single moment, and I know it.
So you're going to love what I have planned for Untamed, but I have one question before I get into that. I kind of love your music interests. Like I know you're like an artist and you're super, your abilities are like amazing, but I have to say, Twisted Sister as your favorite musical artist, like, can we just get into this a little bit? Maybe it's changed, maybe it's evolved, but the idea that like you love them makes me so happy. Like I'm a Gen Xer clearly, but like, holy cow, like I'm thinking of them, Quiet Riot, Poison, like the fact that you're all in on Twisted Sister might pick you up a few extra views on this video. So I'm really
Let's
happy
go.
with that. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I grew up loving rock and roll. My dad was a big rock and roll and metal fan. And yeah, definitely like ingrained that in young Ezra's brain that like, this is taste. Go run with that. And I was like,
Yeah.
well, I want to rock. So
Ezra, who did Dad love for music?
he loved a lot. He was a big fan of AC/DC was his, I think, probably his number one for the longest. Guns N' Roses, he loved. The Offspring, Social Distortion. Like, I don't know. It kind of, as the eras go on, you can pick up new favorites. But Twisted Sister was a huge one, which is where I got the love for it for sure.
So I'm always talking about my dad who'd passed, but like, let me ask you this last question: like, what's Dad's movie taste like? What was his movie taste like? Who did he like? What movies did he love watching?
I think anything that makes you think. Thrillers
Yeah.
was always our favorite to dissect. Like every time he'd watch, he had like a big movie list going before Letterboxd got involved, and he was always, as the longer we could have a conversation about one movie, the happier we were. It was great.
Yeah. Ozzy's passing is such a sad thing, right? Because like, I mean, I know you were a big that was your first concert. Well, they're not related, but like Iron Maiden was your first concert, but Ozzy's in that realm of Iron Maiden, and like he's in Black Sabbath, he's in that realm. Sad passing, just a couple of days before interview.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So I was going to ask you about the lick your own elbow thing, but let's skip that. But that's pretty impressive. That like you said, you could lick your own elbow. It was on your fact sheet, so that's pretty amazing that you could do that. But
my favorite party trick.
So I want to ask you about Lucy Cook. So my daughter's named Lucy. So before I even saw your amazing performance, I'm like, oh boy, like this, like it broke my heart just knowing your daughter's. And I'm going to start like an opposite of what my notes say. Like, I just have to say to you, like, poor Lucy has always been discarded and like passed off. Like, but she's not weak. Like, that's the thing. Like, she's strong, and my heart breaks for her. Like, it's just like she's discarded and she's avoided, but she's not this feeble person. She's super strong, right, Ezra?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she seriously is like such a picture of resilience, and the way that she kind of built this skin and built this ability to survive on her own. And then I think you get so many glimpses of like this could have been safe for her and then it wasn't, and then this could have been safe for her and then it wasn't, and you just see over and over and over again her just getting beaten down and continuing to survive, obviously. Yeah,
Somehow like managing to get through the years of her life the way she did. So I have a picture and a video I want to show you, both from Untamed. I'm going to show you the picture first and just say whatever you want. Like, this is from the Netflix website on the press credentials, but I want to just whatever you want to say. Whatever you want to say. Whatever you want to say. I just threw it up. It's an important scene. Eric is phenomenal. Whatever you wanted to say.
Yeah, that's such a nice moment for me. That's such a beautiful memory I have, both of us sitting there. And I remember, just feeling so like I admired the cast and the crew that I was working with so much. I was so curious. I loved observing them, but having those like grounded moments. There was one with like everybody that I had a conversation with. I had one of those moments where I just sat and I felt safe and I felt welcomed and respected. And that was such a nice moment. Oh.
So you are trained as an actor. I say this in reply to your answer. Like those moments that like you have with Eric Bana, other cast, the crew, like that's something you never learn. Like in maybe getting your BFA, but like you might, but like on set experience, there's no other way to do it unless you're on set. But like, just talk about how valuable those moments are. Like you mentioned a little bit of that, but those have to add to how you've evolved as an actor, because clearly like lights out performance here, but how have those added to your moments, Ezra?
Yeah, honestly, I think those are what make like the person to person element of acting so memorable. And like you can do some prep work and you can obviously work on your craft and build as an actor and take classes and learn from people, but there's something that is so necessary with having person to person connection. And especially like a lot of my scenes were solo and a lot of it was like quite isolated, and to have those grounding moments it like keeps you coming back and it reminds you like how fulfilling it is, not just as a job, but also as a person, and as like making connection is just, it's unmatched and so necessary.
Ezra, did playing Lucy wear on you a little bit as a human being, as Ezra, not like as an maybe as an actor too, but like, do you find like it, because it's a hard role, like for you, for people watching it, because people love her, and it's like she's gone through hell. You're portraying her, so I can't even imagine what that does for you. I mean, I get process, I get all that, but did you find that it was difficult in some ways? Not like that you couldn't do it, but like mentally, does it like wear on you a little bit? It's a hard role.
It kind of does, yeah. It's definitely, you have to find balance between work and life. And I found myself at the end of the day, like really needing to come back into myself. And also just like, I don't know, I respect Lucy's character, the way she was written, and I like admire her. And I didn't want to like, I don't know, like claim that as my own as much as, you know, I'm portraying her on screen. I didn't want to claim her story as my own because I haven't been living in a forest for a decade alone. And I think just like acknowledging that she was her own person and I had the privilege of portraying her and they trusted me with this role was, it's interesting. It's cool.
Yeah, great answer. So I have a video. It's about a minute. It's my favorite scene of the whole series. It involves you, okay? And it ripped my heart out in all the ways that shows that move you emotionally should. It's a minute. It's a little longer, but I want you to like, just for people who are watching this, if you don't mind me playing it, are you okay with it, Ezra? Can I play
Absolutely, go for it.
Okay, I think you're gonna like what I have to play.
Give it a try. Yeah. It's a biometric element to these scans if any reading is off.
How many chances before it locks?
Hang on a second.
What's that?
Formaldehyde. That's an older phone. So we can warm the tissues just a bit. Might create enough heat. Trick the tech into reading her skin is alive. How about that?
Broke my heart. Like it broke my heart for like there's a part of that where you see the like the fluid come down her face, and I get it, it's the eye drops, but is it like she's kind of awake in her passing? Like, I'm not trying to get too deep here, but that was not an accident. Those involved with the cinematography and all that, like that was there on purpose. And I'm gonna get to what you thought as you were shooting it, but holy cow, Ezra, that scene, like as a dad, killed me. It killed me. Whatever you wanted to say.
Yeah, that's I can't imagine as a parent. I know my mom is going through it while watching the series.
Oh no.
Yeah. Yeah, that was honestly, I think, one of my favorite scenes to shoot because I got to like watch them in the scene, and it felt like such like close quarters experience with such experienced actors, and they were so incredible. A tidbit actually of that scene is there was no eye drops. There was no liquid in the dropper. Because I think it's just extremely hard to hold your face still. So that the actual liquid was added in post. And the water that you see kind of falling down my face is just the moisture that comes up from keeping your eyes open. And also could have been the emotion in the scene, could have been her ghost coming up from within. But yeah, interesting. There was actually no eye drops.
Wow. Could that have been a tear? Like, do you remember? I mean, it's probably a while ago, but that could have been a tear, right? I mean, there's a bunch of things in that. How tough is that to shoot, though? Like, a lot of people would have used, AI and all those. And I get that. Forget the eye drops, but you're there on that table. Like, is that hard? Like, I feel like we don't see you blink. I feel like there's a lot there as an actor. It's like, holy cow, it's pretty amazing.
It was really surreal, and like I got very close to my relationship with mortality shooting all of those scenes, and just in general, like seeing they had a silicone body made of me as well for some of the wider scenes, where we were shooting for long periods of time and they couldn't have me in there. But yeah, seeing yourself deceased is super weird. It's super weird. And just laying in a morgue, I think, is like probably a very unique experience.
Yeah, but the way you pull it off, it's such it attributes to what you are capable of as an actor, which is like, wow, like it's really amazing to see that, because that was a scene that really hit me hardest in all 6 episodes. Mm-hmm. That was the one that really was like the gut punch of like how I feel like that in this series in general, that was the scene that really was the most powerful, but also like kind of if the viewer is confused as to what's going on, it really hits home, Let me ask you this, because unlike conventional roles where you have dialogue and you're kind of just doing your thing here and there, that's a role where like we're looking at flashbacks, we're looking at a lot of stillness, we're looking at a lot of these things. So is that tougher to pull off in some ways, Ezra, than a traditional, all right, learn your lines, let's go from there? Because I feel like during this entire show, we're watching you bring forth Lucy Cook in so many ways. Like, it's not just learn your lines and go with it. It's, wow, look what she's doing. Look what she's bringing forth to the screen.
I think it definitely felt very unconventional. It didn't feel like prep that they tell you about an acting class and kind of something that you can physically, like, step 1, step 2, step 3 prepare for. It was a lot of, for one, like constructing her timeline and knowing where I was at in the timeline of her life. And also just really fleshing out the relationships that she had with people. And I spent a lot of time like sitting in the trees. I think that was the best way that I could prepare for it, was like, I feel like that's the way that a lot of the crew knew me. I was just like sitting in the trees. I could not get more into the dirt. I always wanted to be, as close to the forest as possible, just like she would have been.
I would have loved to know your mom's reaction in that scene. Like, I know you watched the series, she watched the series and she was like really into what, I would have loved to know her reaction to that scene in particular, because as a parent, again, I don't want to sound repetitive, but that's really amazing, Ezra. Like that scene, I don't know what you like. Does Eric say anything to you? Like, does he say like, I mean, it's like the most powerful scene in the entire, I think, in the entire series. Does he say anything? Does he add anything?
I don't know. I think I don't remember him saying anything specific, but there was definitely a conversation between us and the director. And in this episode, it was Tom, and yeah, it was the connection between Lucy and Turner, that this was such a moment of care where he was like pushing the hair out of her face, and it was really much humility for her in that moment. Then I remember really, really highlighting that while we were shooting.
So this movie does highlight a lot of Native American heritage, and I did not know this. Like, looking into your life, Ezra, your life and who you are, it has a very strong Native American heritage attached to it. Is that a correct statement on my part?
Yeah, absolutely.
So whatever you wanted to say about that, like, because I think it's important. Like, because listen, like, people might not look at somebody and say, okay, that person. Like, listen, people come from all different creeds and backgrounds, and everyone looks different, and they're part of a group. We don't know, but like, just whatever you want to say about your Native American heritage I think is really important.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a very big and important part of my identity, and it's something that I'm constantly exploring. I think that's in every person that I have a conversation with that identifies with their Indigenous heritage. Like, it's a continual learning process and unlearning process, and finding your own identity outside of the media and the way the media portrays it. But I am Indigenous to the Algacho Reserve, which is in the Chilcotin, and Decalc History and Heritage, which is in like central northern BC. And my dad was Indigenous. He grew up off reserve. And so I grew up off reserve. He was in like the 60s scoop. Yeah. And so I grew up in Southern Alberta in Blackfoot territory and didn't have a whole lot of representation for, I guess, like my people per se. And like it's hard to immerse yourself when you're, for one, like not surrounded by people who look like you, or I think look is the big one, because that's all I really had to go on. But we've gone up to visit my reserve. We took a trip up last month to visit my family's reserve, and it was great. It was beautiful. It was really eye-opening and a really necessary experience. And yeah, it's crazy to speak on it from a first-person perspective now. And really, I hope I brought that into this role.
Yeah, you certainly did. You know what it reminded me of? I don't know if you've ever seen this movie, Wind River. Have you seen that?
I have not, no.
Oh, I think you would love it very much. It reminded me very much of what your character went through. And I think if you have a chance, Ezra, I know you're very busy, but I think you would love Wind River. It's very much like a character that has gone through what Lucy Cook went through. Ezra, talk about your musical taste, because I know that's a big part of who you are. Your writing, I mean, you're kind of everything. Like you kind of do it all really well. Just whatever you wanted to say.
Music is a huge part of my life. I'm definitely, I'm a musician and I'm an actor, and I'm trying to do every part of the art. I cannot get enough art in my system. I've always really loved music, and it was a big part of my life growing up. And then when I was like early teens, I started writing music, and then as I got to post-secondary, I started recording it, and I built a really nice community in Vancouver now where I can record and release music that I love and that I hopefully can perform for people, or that people resonate with. I think is my main goal, is to just speak to people through song, and hope that's working out.
I have 2 questions left. Thank you for all this time. I really appreciate it. So where do you want your because you have so many like irons in the fire here, like where do you want to be in like 5 years? Like, is there a goal that you want to do? Do you want to keep everything available to you? Like, you have the music, you have acting, you have writing, you have, like I said, so many things. Is there a particular place you want to be, or is it leave everything open, and if the opportunity fits, it fits?
I think I'm open to anything, and I think that the biggest way to call in what you want is to just allow it to happen. And I wouldn't have gone seeking out this specific role, but because this role found me, now it's a piece of me, and I think that that's just important to keep that always at your fingertips.
Oh, I love that answer. For somebody that hasn't dove into Untamed yet, the 4 or 5 people that haven't, how would you describe Lucy Cook to those that are like, I want a great show? By the way, my wife brought me this show. Like, I mean, my head is in so many places, and I'm like, oh my God, when it was done, I was just leveled. So how would you describe Lucy to those that don't know what she's like? How would you describe her?
I would describe her as a forest dweller, incredibly resilient.
Oh, I love that. Oh, I love that resilience.
A really good picture of what happens to a person after trauma and continuing to survive within it. And it's a search for home and community and family, and she ultimately ends up finding that family in the Yosemite National Park, like the park being her family. Yeah. Ezra, do they make reference, and I could be wrong in this, I don't remember this, does she have, in the show, does she have Indigenous roots? Does she have roots? I can't remember. I know. I got to be careful what I say about her father, but like the mother end of it, did mom did she have a connection? I'm confused. I thought she might have. And then I was like, maybe not. I don't know. Yes, she absolutely did. She was Indigenous to the Miwok tribe that is Indigenous to that region of California. Yeah, and we had consultants on set from the Miwok heritage that were able to give insight and make sure that they were doing it respectfully. And well. And I think that they ultimately did a really good job of exploring it.
Listen, I don't want to sound too repetitive, but the idea that like you portrayed this character and so unconventionally, like, oh my God, I'm so psyched for what you do next. Like, it's like, you're so good, Ezra. And I don't compliment people if I don't mean it. Like, I was just, as a dad, as a film buff, like, this is like an awesome role. And I feel like more people should recognize how wonderful you were in this. Like, once they see it, I'm so, I want to say I'm so proud of you, but we just met. But like, I really am so happy for you. like, I get the dad vibe, and I know your dad would have loved this. It was so good. Like, you should be so damn proud of yourself, Ezra. You were awesome in this.
Thank you so much, Darek. I really, really appreciate that.
Ezra, how can people look you up on the internet or like Instagram or whatever? Like, people should be in touch with you because your greatest work is still, we haven't seen it yet. Like, I'm so excited for what you bring to us.
Definitely Instagram is where I'm most active. It's Ezra.Franky. And then you can find music on Spotify or Apple Music under Ezra Franky. And yeah, pretty much anywhere. I'm under Ezra Franky across all platforms.
Ezra, thank you for letting me be a part of your journey. I really appreciate it. And yeah, thank you for your awesome performance. Like, thank you for letting me be a part of that in some small way. Thank you.
Thank you, Darek. Appreciate it.
Have a great